Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lisa J. Peck.
Yahoo! You're graduated! It's time for the happy dance. I'm all about happy dances. I'm all about celebrating. We do not celebrate enough in our culture. If you truly learn to celebrate, you will get more success faster and quicker, and it will be a whole lot more easy. Now, I'm pretty sure that the graduates probably got the partying down. But what I'm wondering is, do you have the other part of celebrating and the richness and the depth that is waiting for you? Now, I have a homework assignment for you graduates. I know, groan, moan, you're already done with that. You don't have to listen to me if you don't want to. But with this homework assignment, I think it can change your life. What I'm asking you to do sometime soon is to sit down when it's quiet and reflect. And I want you to write down 50 to 100 things that you had to overcome in order to be in those seats today. What were your wins? What were those challenges you had to face? What did you have to conquer? I know when I was sitting in those seats, one of my biggest wins, I think it was my biggest win, was the fact I passed math. Now, being dyslexic, those numbers like to switch around on me. And I don't know why they have us do math class. But when I was in math class, I learned some very important lessons. One, I learned where the math lab was. I lived there. I learned to give up my sleep. I learned to give up everything else but math. And I also learned how to pray really, 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 really hard. And I learned if you do both of those things, you can get a C. And I love that C. I am so proud of that C. All my A's combined do not equal the pride that I have for that C. That was my win. You might not be challenged with math, but I am positive there was many challenges that you had to overcome. Whether it be family, financial, kids, work, learning disabilities, whatever it is, put it on that list. It's important to see what you have accomplished, what you truly accomplished. And when you're exhausted putting down what you have done, I want you to ask the people who are close to you. Because we have ability in our culture to underestimate ourselves and not really see how much growth we've done. We have a way of just kind of forgetting about it. But think back to where you were when you first started this journey. What were the resources? What things did you have to do and conquer to win? And I want you to take that, I want you to embed that into your soul. Because that is the guidance that you have. You now know that you have all the resources to help you in the future. Now there's a rumor going on that the economy is bad. But you have the resources to conquer any kind of rumor like that. Because you were able to grit down and to overcome some amazing, difficult things. Now, let's talk about the rest of your life. You're now graduated, it's time to move forward, and you get to decide, are you going to have the outside world control you? Are you going to have the media tell you what you need to think and how you need to feel? Are you going to have your peers and your pressure tell you? Or are you going to decide inside? Are you going to have the doomsday determine what your day is, or are you going to believe that you really have the capacity to move forward and to make big changes? It's your choice. It's your choice whether you want to listen to the outside world or if you want to believe in that small little hope. Now, I have a really good example of this. One day, it was in January, I was working in my office, the heater was blowing because it was really, really cold, and all of a sudden an IM message clicked in. And I looked at it, and it was red. I hadn't seen red since high school, and I am not going to tell you how long ago that was. But she started chatting, and she goes, Lisa, how come you're always so happy? I've been reading your Facebook pages and your posts, and you're so happy all the time. Now, being a coach, I know that had nothing to do with me. So I immediately scheduled to have an appointment and a call with her. And I found out that her husband had just lost a really high-paying job, and she was just devastated. She didn't know what to do about it, and she was just spinning. So I asked her, well, what do you want? She goes, I want him to find a job where he's valued and he's not brutally dismissed and where they care about him. I says, is it possible? And she said, you know, he is still very valued. They're continuing to call him. He has really good skills. But I live in a small town and nobody has jobs and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I said, well, so what? She said, what do you mean, so what? Yeah, the outside world, everybody's not getting a job, everybody's not doing this. So, is it possible? And she said, yes. I said, so what's next? And she said, to believe in the power of the possible. Listen to that. What would happen if you believed in the power of the possible in your life? What would you be able to accomplish? What would you be able to do? What changes could you make if you believed in the power of the possible? She called me 2 weeks later. Her husband got a job. Not just any job, a job where he was valued, and a job that paid more. It's amazing to me what happened. She was able to believe in her husband. When she was able to believe in her husband got into the zone, and her husband was able to claim that job. Now I have some tips for you as you're going out into the world. The first one is to own your own club. I work a lot with business people, and I see a lot of people wandering around, not really knowing where they fit, really not knowing how to make business work for them. In fact, I was one of them. In January of 2009, I was going to one of those greasy network breakfast things, and I was feeling completely like a loser. I was thinking, what am I doing here? I had been coming here for 6 months. I had just barely remarried. I had been divorced after 13 years. I had 6 kids, and I had a really big business failure. And I was feeling absolutely like I did not fit in with the suits. And on top of that, I was pregnant, and I was like, why are they going to listen to me? I'm pregnant, I'm a woman, what is going to happen here? And so I went, I did my little spiel, had the same kind of success as I always have, and I went home. And I talked to my husband, and he said, you know, Lisa, I just hate seeing you get beat up like this. I don't think you belong in the business world. It's just too hard for you. I hate seeing you suffer. Later on that day, I got an email from my coaching school where I had just invested the last bit of my money, and they told me if I didn't get 6 more clients in the next 2 weeks, they were going to kick me out. I sat down and thought, oh my heavens, it would be cheaper for me to not even work. In fact, well, I guess maybe that's what I'll do, is not work. My kids, they're just going to have to do without the braces, and their husband or wife is going to have to get it for them. Now, maybe they won't get braces because they have the crooked teeth. And by that point, I had absolutely convinced myself I was going to be grandchildless when the phone rang. And there was my future mentor. I had met her several weeks earlier. She's from Arizona, and she wears those flowy, ethereal clothes. And she had 3 questions for me after I told her my situation. 1, Lisa, are you a guy or are you a girl? I'm a girl. Do you like selling like a guy? No. Then why are you trying to be one? Why was I trying to force myself into a world that I didn't belong and do it the way that I wasn't resonant with? I thought about it long and hard. What I was really good at was being a mom. I'm really nurturing. I can see potential in people, and I can identify and help them become their best. I'm a really good butt kicker. My kids don't give me very much crap. It's just one of those things. I don't deal with it. Soon as I started approaching the business world that way, I get to have my pick of who I work with my clients. So, my husband was right. I didn't belong in that club. I get to belong in Lisa's club. Guess how much I charge my husband to come visit? The question is, what club are you belonging to? Are you doing your club, or are you trying to get into somebody else's club?